And one of the pieces of advice that I always give, like, I always have the opportunity to sit down with the interns at our company. And my advice to them is at 20, I hate to break it to you, you're not that interesting. You don't have that much that's interesting to me, but be interested. And be interested in the people around you. And that means you know what your next door neighbor does for work. And if I ask a lot of the 20-somethings in my company, what does your neighbor do for work? I have no idea. Well, maybe they do something that could help you. Maybe they do something that's kind of cool. Know what your dad's friends do. And just be interested. But if you're interested like that, what I'll say is what comes from that is what you're talking about. A newfound respect for all of the journeys that people have been on and all of the things that they've done. One of the things, like I was crushed to read the obituary for my former next door neighbor's father and discover that like he had fought in Iwo Jima and was a pro football player in the 50s. And I thought like all the times that he was sitting on the back porch and I was just kind of annoyed, because we live in Melrose where everyone's on top of each other. And I was just annoyed that like, the music's going, whatever. Like it would have been cool, what a cool guy to talk to that would have been. And the stories that you pick up, and Harvard's filled with them, of people, for those that remember folks like in the athletic department, Chet Stone was just filled with stories. John Caulfield, John Caulfield was a legend who fought in World War II and played baseball with George Bush. Be interested and get to know those folks. There was a famous leadership class at Harvard where it was at the business school, and the professor had one question on the final. And the question on the final was, name the person that cleans this building. And his challenge to his class was, you're all going out there and being CEOs and out there claiming that you're going to lead companies. You've been in this building every day and none of you learned the name of the guy that cleans the place and you walk past him every day. That to me is such a great lesson. Learn that name, know their backstory. And that's what I feel like Bruce has done that. Bruce has never been in a factory, and yet he writes about it all the time. He's never been a real believer. He's never held a job. He's been a musician, and yet he connects with those folks because he's talked to them and he's interested in them. And I think being interested is the whole key to that.